Ever since I've been a kid, I've had a huge love for Lego Star Wars. I remember getting my first set all the way back in 2008. It was the Rebel Scout Speeder, and I remember playing with that thing for hours. Um, and ever since then, I've got more and more sets. Throughout the years, I picked up big ones, I picked up small ones. Battle packs, carriers, light cruisers, speeder bikes, all sorts of things. Um, But as I've gotten older, especially in the past few months, I've realized something that like my love for Lego Star Wars, I guess, has kind of been on the low. It's been dimming, and I've noticed that my collection has been stagnant of new releases. My newest pickup has been the Rex Microfighter, which is actually fairly recent. But before that, I couldn't even tell you what it was because it's been a long time. Um, and I've noticed that like the gaps in what I get has become longer and longer instead of picking up, the whole wave. It's just one or two, if even that. And I wouldn't say I've lost my love for Star Wars because I still love it very much, and I watch all the new shows despite their quality. Um, and I still pick up a lot of Star Wars related things. I've noticed I've shifted over to Black Series more than Lego, and for a while I couldn't figure out why exactly that was. Until a few days ago. So a few days ago, I was scrolling through Instagram when a reel popped up on my feed, and it looked like one of those scamming AI ones. So I was gonna scroll right over it, but for whatever reason, I just continued to watch it, and and this is what it was.
Target is marking down all of their Legos to 50% off this week. This means money. To find these, head to the Lego section in your local Target and look out for these yellow stickers. You can flip these on eBay for an easy 2x profit. Comment the word Lego, and I'll invite you to my Discord community where I post these deals.
Watching that video to the end, I think it fully made me realize why, you know, why I came to why I think that my love, or my spark, I guess, for Lego Star Wars, has went out and has dimmed. Um, and I can say with a definitive conclusion that the magic of Lego Star Wars is gone. So my first point I want to make is about resellers. And I kind of want to make a disclaimer that I'm not calling out the guy in the video specifically. Reselling has been around for a long time, and he's only one of many. So, although I have a personal opinion on resellers, especially when it comes to toys and collectibles, this is not really the topic at hand. Um, what I want to kind of get into is more of like the value that Lego Star Wars sets have. This line's been around for about like 25 years, and it's released over 900 sets, and they're still releasing more. Um, there have been a lot of valuable and sought after figures that Lego has released that many people have not had the chance to get. I know that there are still many characters that I would love to get, and like I said, I've been collecting since technically like 2008. For example, I just kind of picked a figure out of like, I don't want to say out of thin air, but kind of more an obscure figure. So I picked the Geonosis Clone Trooper, who's a character that I would like to have, but I never got. And when the set that they came in, it was a battle pack, which was, I think it was like around like 2013, 2014. I don't know the exact date. But it was a battle pack, so it came with like two of the Genos and clone troopers, and then two like of a different kind of Genos clone trooper. And this sold for $12. So you're buying it for the minifigures. And now on Bricklink, it goes around for $7 or $8, USD. So you know obviously people are allowed to resell their figures that you don't want anymore. Because I know I have a bunch of figures in my collection that like you know I'm not gonna do anything with them, so I might resell them, let some other person be happy with them and use them. Um, So I don't want to like call out this point where, I don't want to try and sound like I'm saying that you can't resell, because that's stupid to say that. You should be able, you should be able to sell your things and stuff like that. But um what I'm trying to say is kind of like, well, what I'm trying to bring with this point is that the value of figures, especially Star Wars figures, has increased significantly. And that's, the example that I used was just some random clone trooper, you know, who has an increase. So, 12 divided by 4 is 3, and you got more in that set. So a figure would go for around $3, one of those figures. And it, you know, it increased to 7 or 8. And that's just some random clone trooper. He's nothing special. But now, like, if we look at other named figures, from the sets they came in, compared to their price now, is like more than their sets. I know the Commander Fox, he was in one of um the big Republic ships, and I think he costs just as much as the set did, and it's like for over 100. And I don't know, I just people have, like, they've seen the increase and the value that this market has, and they see profit. So people purchase new sets and they scalp everything they can just for the sole purpose of reselling. And I think that's one reason why Lego Star Wars has lost its magic, because all people now, you know, people used to line up in the lines, for passion. I would want to go line it, like, stand in a line for an hour or two, because I want to get this set. I want to build it, and I want to have it, in my collection and display it. And obviously there's still a lot of people that do that, but nowadays I feel like people only do that like to resell it as well. You know, you see limits now, like limit 5, limit 6, and I've seen people in comments before, like, they're like, "Oh, I should be able to buy as many as I want," which I guess to an extent, a little extent, is fair. But the reason, if the reason you want so many is just to resell it, just to profit off of other people's, want for something, I think that, you know, that's ruining a lot of what was there. Like, a lot of the magic was there. And like I said before, you're allowed, I don't want to sound like I'm not saying that I don't believe you should be able to resell it, because you should. It's your property. You do with it what you want. But people only buy things for the sake, just to resell them. I personally don't think, you know, I mean, it's whatever. But you see people nowadays in vlogs where it's like, oh yeah, I'm buying this, just so I can resell it later down the line. Which, again, I understand completely, because you will make a lot of money. But I think, taking away from the magic of, of a little kid going to the store. I remember when I was a kid, just always being so excited to look for stuff, and for the most part I could find everything I wanted. But nowadays it's like you can you know, barely find anything. And I don't want to blame, like, completely people who scalp and stuff, because obviously it's grown. Lego Star Wars and the market has grown significantly from when I was a kid. Um, and yeah, people people will buy these sets and upcharge them completely, and people will buy them just, for the sake of getting it early. So I know, like, the whole Rex situation with the Venator Rex and the you know okay, I'll give a little background for those that don't. If you're watching this video, you probably know, but for those that don't know, I think it was a year ago around, Lego released, it was like a 600, here, wait, let me Google this. It was a $650 set. Um, yeah, $650 for a UCS Venator, which is, Ultimate Collector's Edition. So it's obviously, adults that are building this. No kid is gonna kind of buy this for themselves. Um, and it came with two exclusive figures. It came with Captain or Commander Rex, I guess. Um, and this figure had been highly sought after. It had been around like 10 years since they last made one. Um, and that again, that this I don't want to go into it because just it's so messy, especially in like the this community. It's just so much controversy. But yeah, a set that has 5,374 pieces. It Then they released two figures, Admiral Yularen and Captain Rex. And Yularen is exclusive to the set, um, still, and he will remain exclusive. But Rex is not, because a year later, Lego decided to release him into a microfighter, which is $13, same exact figure, and people were outraged because they're like, if I paid this much for a set, I want my minifigure to be exclusive. Um, because it was the same exact figure in the $650 set, now in the $13 set. And I know people were reselling him for like $100 or like 80, 90, like ridiculous prices. But people would pay it because they don't want the full set. Now I don't know, because I remember I saw like a picture or something in the or it might have even been like in the advertising, where they said it was like these two exclusive figures are gonna come in the set when it was released. So people were, it kind of gave away, it kind of misled it, where it was like these guys were gonna stay exclusive, but obviously they didn't. But it was worded funny, or it doesn't say like these guys, because I know in one, I think it was, I don't remember what set, it was another Star Wars set where it was like these two, like they worded it where it's like they will be forever exclusive to the set, or it might have just been one, but they worded this one funny, where it was like, it's kind of in up for speculation, how you interpret it, where it was like, now they could be saying it was for if they were both exclusive forever, but still, and how people were outraged because you completely killed, the the non-official market for the sellers that were selling that. And I don't want to make it like as so here's my 2 cents. That was kind of background, I guess, where it's like, I bought the set, and I think it's very cool. Like, I get both sides. I will say that. I know if I was a kid, and I back in like, what is it, elementary, middle school, and I don't I don't have a job, I don't have an income, so I save up my money, 13, $20, $10. It was a lot for me as a kid, and you know I would able to get this cool minifigure in a, like in a $15 to $16 set. I would have been stoked. So as a kid, the kid in me, I guess, would say that yes, it should be re-released, because, like I said, they know this is a completely, Captain Rex is a very famous character, especially with the release of Clone Wars season 7. You know, in Bad Batch, he's just a and Ahsoka. People want this minifigure, and Lego knows this, because as I said earlier, you know, they know that adults and kids, they both collect this thing. And to put him behind a $650 paywall, Rex, I think, is a little bit ridiculous. Or I don't want to say ridiculous, but it's like, the people that got the set and they thought that Rex would stay exclusive I don't know, it's kind of silly, because he's so popular. And you can say, well, Lego drops the ball on a lot of stuff nowadays. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, but it maybe they could have tweaked this character, and they could have made him like more exclusive in a certain way, but no, they just copy and paste it. And I remember seeing this post on Instagram where they were like, they turned off the comments, where they try and like find little bits and pieces of, differences, and it's like, no, it's the same character. You can stop like complaining. And although again, I understand both sides, it would be annoying, I know, if I bought this, to have two exclusive figures, only for Lego to go and re-release it in a $16, $15 set. That would mildly annoy me. But you know, and this kind of goes into my next point, but it's like the reselling and people only see Lego now as a monetary value, I believe is one of the main points of what is taking away the magic of Lego Star Wars. So my second point is the price. And I just want to say, like, first and foremost, Lego's a toy. You know, in in every okay, I don't want to say in every, but in a lot of well, okay, in all the like the mainline releases, I guess, if you went to the store and you found a Lego set, look if you look on the promotional pictures for it, it's kids or their parents playing, like, playing with it or posing with it. And they probably changed that nowadays because they know how popular it is with collectors. But it's they know it's it's a toy, and I'm not saying adults can't collect it because I collect them. I collect Lego, and but it's a toy, so it shouldn't it shouldn't be that expensive. That's what you would think, but it's it's very expensive now just for, like, again, I remember seeing. So it's currently July 13th, 2014, and a week ago, I was actually gonna make a video on it. Some of the new set pictures were released, and I remember, like, the price on it. I audibly laughed out loud. Like, it was ridiculous. It was funny because the prices was not worth it whatsoever. Um, so the Ahsoka Tano's duel on Peridea is retail for 55. This set right here is $55. And while it's cool and all, and I understand that you have minifigures with printing and stuff, that should be like 30 tops. Like, okay, well, not 30 top, with the Lego Star Wars tax stuff, I would expect 40. 40 is probably the max I would pay for that. And look at it, like, you do get cool figures, you get exclusive figures. I'm pretty sure, like, those are all exclusive figures in that way. Well, I know there's like other Thrawn and Ahsoka's, but in that, like, kind of style. But and then um the this one, I was angry. I was kind of angry about this. The Desert Skiff and Sarlacc pit. This thing is $80, and I understand, like, there is no reason, like, who in their it's gonna sound like I was gonna say who in their right mind would pay for this, but Lego knows that you have a certain amount of adult fans that no matter what they release, no matter at what price, will buy this. And I think it's absolutely it's ridiculous. you know and kind of get back to the main point, to what I was saying, about how, like, it's primarily a kid's toy, ages 8 and up. What kid is gonna have you know this money? What kid is going to pay all of this? you know because what did I say? It it um I lost my train of thought. But okay, and actually I remember. So it cost me like $12 to buy a battle pack when I was a kid. 10, I think it was 10, or, like, and I remember for $20 I could get a lot of things, or for $50. And and nowadays, like I said, like look at these sets, and it's like for $80 I could spend it on way more things. The value, there's a shifting point, I feel like, when you grow up, to where you see, it's the opportunity. There's the opportunity cost, where it's like, how much you're willing to pay, what for what, like, how much personal worth that you put into it. And for me, that is really shifting nowadays. because I'm older. I gotta pay for for schooling, for food, for gas, for for adult things, and it's like I don't have this extra money to throw around. And as an adult, again, I think these things are cool, but you're pricing these to where you're pushing out your older market who was able to afford these things, and I would say who could appreciate these things different than a kid. And you're also pushing out your kid target audience because that's it's expensive, and as a kid I know I wouldn't be able to afford any of this. um so when you kind of alienate both groups, it's like the line's gonna the line's gonna start failing. And I don't want to see that, because I mean, the Jedi Bob Starfighter, I thought that was pretty cool, but for $40, like, there's no, it's probably gonna, honestly, it's probably gonna go on sale for like 32 at Walmart, and then when it's on clearance, probably like 28 or whatever. Because I know I've seen like the Yoda Starfighter from last year, or it might have been earlier this year. Um, I've seen that on sale for like 22, 25, 28 at Walmart when it's originally 35. So it's like it's gonna go down, which I think I'm gonna pick up one time or another, because I really like that set. Um, but it's just ridiculous. And even, yeah, even in the, like, I've seen a slight increase, and obviously they have molds and stuff, which I understand. Like the Obi-Wan's Jedi uh Starfighter, that was 30, I think, which I'll pay that. But I remember that Anakin's Starfighter, I think it was from 2018. I think it was from 2017 or 2018. I think that was 25, and it's like, I understand that the Obi-Wan had the Kamino and minifigure print, or mold, so they had to, kind of make a little increase in that. But even with the Yoda's Interceptor, it was 35, and I could pick up a Jedi Interceptor a few years prior to that for, I think it was like 25 or 30, maybe even 20 on clearance. And it's just, the price, it's just, I can no longer, like, justify, you know, buying this $40 Lego set, or it's like a full tank of gas. Yeah, the opportunity cost. It's not adding up. Now if it's like $30, I could see that, because it reminds me of myself as a kid. But it's ruining what made it special, because I could, whenever I got a set, I could just think of all the, just think of Star Wars. But now I'm thinking of how much I'm spending on this and how much I'm losing. So I think that that is another reason why it's losing its touch. And their adult line, or like, it's like the black box. It's like the adult, or collectors, whatever they call it. Not the UCS or the collectors, but like the Emperor's Throne Room, the Dagobah Training, um, Endor Speeder Bike. I think they're pretty cool. And I've seen them on clearance now for like $20 off, and it's still a ridiculous price. Like, I have the Dagobah one, which I got for like 50% off, and only then was like, I'm like, that's actually a good reasonable price, or not reasonable, or a price I would spend and buy it for. But it, they're cool sets, don't get me wrong, and I think a lot of the newer sets, they're very smart, and just like, and interesting designs that I really can appreciate more as an adult. Um, but it's like, again, the price is just absolutely insane. You know, they know people will they know people will buy it, and they know that they're gonna make money off of it. So I think, I don't know. I guess that's point two, which kind of brings me into point three, which is YouTube and mainstreaming. So for these past two prior ones, I kind of wrote out a script, but for this one, I didn't really write out anything. So I think this last point kind of mixes in both of these other 2 points in reselling and price. I remember when I was a kid, I could, like, whenever I typed in like Lego like Lego YouTube into the YouTube search bar, I would get motion videos and like cool reviews of like the Brick Show or like Jang Bricks. You know, there were a lot of very big, a lot of big players. There's a few, but very big players of the Lego Star Wars YouTube game. And you know, it wasn't. It was like, I don't want to say they were janky interviews, but you know, obviously they were starting out. You know, and it's not like it's today. And obviously, industry, or calling this an industry, but industry and platforms, you know, they grow and they improve, and I think that's amazing and that's awesome. You know, now I can watch someone talk about like a topic that I have, you know, I have a niche interest for you know, for 20, for 30, for an hour, you know, for however many minutes, and I think that's awesome. You know, and I enjoy it a bunch, but people saw the success of these, and you know, they I don't want to say they hopped on the bandwagon, because I watch a lot of these, you know, I guess modern day vlog, I don't want to say vlog, but like Lego channels, not just Star Wars, and I see a lot of them, and I can tell that most, if not all, you know, have a genuine passion for Lego, and I think that's awesome, because as you know, someone in my 20s and growing up, um, you know, not everyone around me has the same passion of this as I do. You know, and to see people just live out, you know, their life without, I guess, any judgment, you know, and any like, you know, it's nice to see someone of like a peer of mine, I guess, talk about the same thing, because you know it's different to talking, you know, or arguing with some kid online or whatever. But that was a joke. I don't argue with kids. I just I just clarify that. But what I'm kind of getting to is that, you know, nowadays, you know, there's been so much drama, especially, I don't want to name any channels, but you know, there's been a lot of drama with like copyright stuff with the Lego Ambassador Network, you know, with people being sponsored to talk about it. So obviously, you know, they're gonna say the things that will keep getting them the sponsorship. And honestly, I don't even blame them. You know, you're getting free sets. You know,
All
you
right,
basically get paid to
so
talk about
we
what
are
you love,
here
and you know,
finally
that's awesome.
after
That's the
countless
dream.
hours of setting
Um,
everyone up.
but
Got
they
more over
avoid
there.
actually
We're
voicing their
finally
own
here.
opinion,
So
and I
this is gonna
think
be
that's a lot of the problem
kind of
with
like an in-depth
this community
review.
and with this
Not
fandom,
review, but just a look
especially
at my
nowadays,
collection.
is where
And
people don't really
yeah,
voice
I've
their
bought like
opinion,
every
or they
single one of my
watch
Lego Star Wars
their
figures. Well, not every,
famous their favorite YouTuber
mostly
to
all of
form
my
their own
collection.
opinion. And I think that there's a
There's a
lot of
few I
negativity
know like
that
that I don't
that
have,
comes
or it's not that I
to
don't have, but yeah, maybe I like
comes to
lost them,
these
or
this set, the fandoms
they're
and
just
like
like
the
yeah, they
community,
lost or just somewhere
because of
random.
this.
So
And
let's
like I
get
said,
into
I've seen vlogs
So I
where
don't
it's
really know
like,
how this one's gonna go. I know I said that last video,
you
but
know,
compared to like my
they're
Ninjago one where
buying
it's only
like
like, you know, you only have like
20
a few
Lego sets
characters.
and
This
everything's
has like
on
a lot
clearance and
of
stuff, and
different
they just, you know,
variants.
they shove
So
it
I'm
all
just
in
gonna
their
just go
cart, and they're
straight
like, oh
ahead
yeah,
into
I'm
it
gonna
and see
resell all
how
of
this
this.
goes.
I'm gonna make
So
so
here
much
we're
money.
starting off.
Kind of go
I
back
kind
to
of
that
sorted
first
this in
video
weird
that I
way. I
guess kind
started
of
with like my
prompted
clone
this
troopers, and then
video,
in the back I go to
and
Jedi,
it
and then I go to like all my
it kind of, I don't
droids,
want to
and
say it's
then you got
heartbreaking,
the
because that's
separatist
kind of
droids,
silly,
and then you
you
kind of
know,
go into
but
like
it
dark
it
side
hurts
users, I
to,
guess.
I
I know
guess,
Grievous
no,
technically
I'm
isn't,
not gonna
but
say that. It
yeah. So then I go into there, and then
it's
from
kind of
there I
like,
go into
you know,
the
seeing your favorite restaurant kind of
Empire.
decline in
That's not,
quality
yeah, that's it.
until
The
it goes
Empire,
out of
and then from
business.
there, kind of in
You
the
know,
back, I
like you
start
still
with
obviously love it and you'll
the First
continue to go
Order,
and support it,
and
but
then from there,
you can see that
I'll put this
it's
on,
going down in
and
quality,
then I go
and
to my
it's kind of
Mandalorians, and
sad.
then Rebellion, and then
It,
Resistance, and then just kind of my
you know, because like I
random
said, you know,
list.
there's so much joy
So
attached to this, and
now
kids are
let's
growing up
actually
now.
get into it.
You know, it's a
So,
different age than
to
when I
start
grew
out,
up, and I
I
didn't
have
grow
the
up
Clone
that long,
Troopers. I
not
have
too
my
long ago,
332nd Clone Trooper right
and
here.
it's
I'm
changing.
basically gonna
Because
review him
I
with all
definitely
the
know
five
I'd be
first.
watching,
He's
you
got
know,
the,
all these if
it's
I was growing
fairly
up
new.
nowadays.
I
I'd probably be
guess
forming my
this is
opinions
recorded on
around
July like 6th, I think.
around like what my
Yeah. So
favorite
at this
YouTuber
point
says.
of 2022, so I don't think it's like that new,
And
but
it,
compared to like the angry,
I don't know.
the notorious angry
You know,
Clone
I
Face,
think
it is very new.
when you have a lot
I
of,
really like
when you
it. I
have
think it's pretty accurate.
there's a lot of
with the flesh
voices
tone and
and
just the
opinions
facial,
in this
like,
community,
facial expressions. So I think
and
it's
I
really
think
good. It's
the loudest
basically
ones
just
in
a
this
501st
usually
clone
win.
trooper, but with Ahsoka.
You know, if you voice your opinion,
So
and you
yeah,
have
I
enough
really like
backing,
these troopers.
and
I'm
you
kind of disappointed that
are
they don't
very
have any
open about it,
hip printing,
then
because I know
most likely you're not.
ones
That's
in
the
the
opinion
ATTE
that the entire
of
fandom
this
kind
year
of shifts
that are
to.
coming out do, and
Um,
then they also have
I've seen videos where I
drills in
think,
their
you know, the
heads
person in it
for,
is a complete fool in what they're
rangefinders
saying and all they're
stuff like
saying.
that.
You know,
Which,
you
I
could
mean,
probably
I'm
be
kinda
watching this video and
disappointed
think the
for
same thing.
continuity with that, but other
But
than that, these are really great figures.
you know, that's what's awesome
Here
about
you have the
you
Jet
know,
Troopers,
about
which
the internet
came in the
and about
501st Battle
being a
Pack,
human.
which I think
You
is
can have
a
your own opinion.
fantastic figure.
You know, you can
You
disagree with
also can
others,
create,
but I
like,
think a lot of the
an ARC Trooper
you
with
know,
these.
at the
Like,
end
I
of the
think 'cause
day,
it has like
we
the
all like
markings on the helmet,
Lego Star Wars,
and then it has like
and well, I
you
hope
can
so.
create your own backpack, and then you can
Yeah,
print
this,
out your
again,
own.
you're probably
like,
watching this video because you like,
commas and
you know, and I guess we
like,
kind of have to.
s-
It's gonna sound corny,
escapes
but
or
you know, we kind of have to remember
cultures or
that.
whatever. So here
And
next we
I
have
you know, Lego does a lot of stupid stuff.
I don't know
Me
the
as a human,
exact name
I
of
do a
this
lot
guy,
of stupid,
but I know he
stupid
was in like
stuff,
the book.
and
He's like a special forces
I think
trooper. I think that it was called. It also has
that,
the old stormtrooper.
you know,
Stormtrooper
modernity,
And
modernity
see here he is. He's pretty beat up.
is,
I
you know,
guess in my
it's
collection.
changing it.
Yeah, it's
It's
cracked,
changing a lot
which
of
kind of sucks.
a
Because
lot
I
of
played with him a lot.
the
But I guess that's just the
community.
the downside of
And
that. But I really like this figure. I think he looks
it-
really cool with the helmet, and everything about him looks really cool. I put
It's-
him with
again,
the
it's weird,
501st just
because
blue and stuff.
Like I said, you know, I don't want to
Yeah.
completely.
So next here we
leave-
have the regular
I don't want to
clone
leave the
trooper.
fandom.
I got
love
this
Star
in
Wars.
like
I love Lego Star
the
Wars. You know, it's been a
microfighter
huge
clone
part of my
turbo tank.
life
He's
ever
got the
since
angry clone face because
what did I
like
say,
in
2008?
2013. But
Since
I
I got
think he
that
looks
headset.
really well with like, you know,
And
the 332nd.
you know,
and
I
the
love it.
501st,
It's amazing.
You know, just kind of in there with them.
You know, there are
Sadly,
a lot of
I don't think
problems,
they
like
released him in
like
many
I said,
sets,
and I think
if at
that
all, besides that.
a lot
So
of
I don't know how rare that
the
is.
magic
but I know
for
he's
me,
not like he's not
but
as common
even
as
all the magic for me
other common ones
is
go.
gone.
So as we move on
And
here,
that-
I
it's kinda
also got
sad,
2 501st
but
battle packs. That's why I have
it's
a lot. 6
it is what it is.
So here we have,
you know. So
it's kind of special.
I guess my
Because
final
right
thoughts
here, you only have like the
would
helmet.
be,
My friend sold this to
um,
me for like,
whoever's watching this,
and
just
the other one, which I don't know where that one. Oh, it's right
just
here.
enjoy
This one, the helmet. he sold me
enjoy
each of those
what
helmets for like
enjoy the
along with
time,
Superman for like $5. I remember it was pretty
Um,
funny. I know that has the wrong body.
because
and
I
that
know
one's the
I've
wrong body because I just bought it with
enjoyed a lot of my
the
time
helmets.
in this
And I know
this
that
community.
doesn't
I'll be
belong
still
on
be
there,
making, you know,
but that was
obviously
kind of
videos.
like
Like I was gonna make a
shift
video of
for
the
me.
new releases and
I
kind of talk
really
about
like
it.
these, just
But I guess
'cause
this
it's
kind
so
of trumped
nostalgic to me, and I
over
used to play Lego Star
that
Wars
because I
Complete
wanted
Saga on the
to
Wii all the time, and these helmets
just
were in
get
it.
these thoughts out.
So I
So
really like those,
yeah.
especially that with the
Um,
markings.
thank you.
Here we have
you
the
enjoyed,
Airborne Trooper from
like and
the
subscribe.
General Grievous
See ya.